And as you vote with your dollar, consider literally any other WordPress host, as WPEngine is the only one we've found that completely disables revisions by default. Wow, just when you thought the WPEngine and WordPress drama would finally end, it's getting worse and worse. Just to go back here for everybody who doesn't know, the WordPress owner, Matt, went ahead and called WPEngine a cancer to WordPress. And to WPEngine, they went ahead and said, please withdraw that. That's insane. But now what we're seeing is the owner, Matt Mullenweg, is going against all of WPEngine's assets, including advanced custom forms. So I just got that email today about advanced custom forms plugin no longer being available on WordPress.org. So they're just going ahead and they're just taking WPEngine, and Matt hates them. And really my opinion here is that I think that Matt doesn't understand, or maybe he hasn't built 10 websites in a year, or 15 or 20 like we have. Personally, we use WPEngine. We also use Bluehost, but for our more premium clients who are going to have more traffic and need to have their websites up and running constantly and have backups, we use WPEngine. So maybe Matt just doesn't understand the dynamic of how WordPress.org is being used for developers or people creating small to medium-sized business websites. But WPEngine's awesome, and we use it every single day. So here's a quick image here about what a dedicated server versus what a shared hosting server is. You can go ahead and opt into a dedicated server with WPEngine, and they're going to charge you more money. That doesn't make them a cancer. That means that if I have a medium-sized business that's getting 30,000 views a day, I can't be on this shared hosting platform because other people are going to be on that same exact host, and it's going to bog the system down, making your website slower either way. So using WPEngine, that's one of the other reasons to use them, is because you need a dedicated server. And if you need a dedicated server, it's going to cost WPEngine more money to host it. So, I'm starting to think that Matt doesn't understand hosting at all. Another thing here that we use with WordPress, with WPEngine here, is their awesome support. Now, if we were to use I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but if you were to go ahead and talk to their support, and you're not paying, you're paying $100 a year or $200 a year, you're not going to get the type of support you get with WPEngine. I can call these guys. I have a dedicated rep that I have I have their email, I have their phone number. We can set up a video meeting at any time if I have a problem with my websites. On the other hand, I've been on the other side of this. I have been on the other side of this coin. I've used the cheap hosting for so long, and it's horrible. So I'm just a little bit confused about what Matt is talking about. Like, how is this? Is hosting a cancer? Is premium hosting a cancer? So right here, if you're a customer of WordPress Engine, so he's trying to say that they're using his IP. When WP, this is another thing in the lawsuit here, is they're saying that WP means WordPress, but you can't use WordPress unless you have the trademark, but WP was never under that trademark, and then they went ahead and did that so that WPEngine couldn't use it, which is slimy. Yeah, so it says, and as you vote with your dollar, consider literally any other WordPress host, as WPEngine is the only one we've found that completely disables revisions by default. So it says here, WPEngine turns this off. They disable revisions because it costs them more money to store the history of changes in the database. One of the reasons why I picked WPEngine is because it creates daily backups of the entire site. And not to mention, you can go ahead and just click backup whenever you want. Also, it encourages backups whenever you do specific things with the database or the website. It says, we're WPEngine, do you want to back up your site on WPEngine first before you make these changes? So I'm sure there's a reason why they actually disable the revisions, considering that they're backing up the entire site every single day, instead of having revisions. Maybe I'm sure there's a reason why they did that. They say it's slowing down your site. Well, I believe them, because honestly, whenever I host a site on WPEngine, it's 10 times faster than the competition. And what I really thought it was is more or less because of the shared hosting versus dedicated hosting. I thought maybe when you're using their shared hosting plan, instead of having 100 in a cluster, maybe they had 50 because they're giving you more resources. I'm not entirely too sure, but I figured it was something along those lines. I don't really care if you're the founder, the CEO of anything. If you're just going to go out and blatantly bash another hosting company for no reason, and we're all using this platform, WordPress.org is used by 40% of the web, and you're just going ahead and drilling down on WPEngine because they don't support revisions, you got a problem, man. I'm not on your side at all. They're even encouraging you to bog down their support line and get at least 3 revisions. Like they're why would I even need to do that? Honestly, I don't need to do that. I have my backups. I mean, just so you guys can kind of see more or less how the user interface here looks. This is incredibly easy compared to any other website builder or any other host service here. Right off the bat, it's incredibly easy to start adding a site. We can even create a sandbox site for free, by the way. You're not going to be able to do that with most of your other platforms. So right there, I mean, that's an entirely different website that's going to get backed up daily for free. So, going back to where he's saying that, they're stingy because they're not doing revisions just to save money. Here I am costing WPEngine money, and that's fine because it's a test site. So here's my backups for one of my websites here. As you can see, daily checkpoint every single day for a month. A little bit longer than a month. That seems a little bit more expansive on their part than if I were to edit a post every now and again and need a revision saved on my site as storage. They're backing up my website more than a month, and it's not a small website. Every single day they're doing that. They disable revisions because it costs them more money to store the history of the changes in the database. How expensive do you think this is? More expensive than we need revisions, I promise you that. And I can go ahead and create a backup whenever I want. So yeah, unfortunately, they're going ahead and they're attacking Advanced Custom Fields, which is owned by WPEngine, and it looks like just 4 hours ago they're more or less doing the same thing with the Nitro Pack team. So all of these sites that that Nitro Pack is on, that Advanced Custom Forms is on, that anything that WPEngine supports, they have, they're going to have vulnerabilities now because they're not supported by the WordPress.org store, or they're going to have, which means that basically they're not going to be on the WPEngine store, so they're not going to be able to push updates for security purposes, which means that we're going to have a bunch of websites that are going to crash just because Matt had to be a jerk and didn't really understand why they have premium hosting out. And he didn't understand why, just because he didn't understand why they disabled revisions, or why they're charging a little bit more than, other popular brands that aren't backing up daily, that don't look good, that don't have Americans answering their phone and giving you their email. That's why I use WPEngine. It's the premium option. That's it. So just want to let you guys know, yeah, just got this email today about that. Figured I'd touch base. It looks like it keeps on going. So we'll see, we'll see where it goes here. And yeah, definitely subscribe if you guys want more information about WordPress, WPEngine, anything like that. It'd help out the channel a whole bunch. And I love this type of content. So please let me know and sub. And let me know what else you guys want to see.